Today, let's talk about how to become a software engineer. So, motivation behind of this video is that I used to be a salesman in South Korea, and I moved to the United States and I pivoted my career into software engineering, and I really enjoy my work and I make six figures. I live in Midwest in the United States and it's a really good salary. And I believe that becoming a software engineer is one of the easiest and one of the most available way to become some sort of a middle class in the United States. Hi guys, this is Seho. I'm a full stack software engineer at healthcare tech company. I make programming tutorials and career tips in tech. So if you want to become a better developer or if you want to become one, consider subscribing and click the like button. In this video, I'm going to talk about the three ways. First, I want to talk about a self-taught route. There are a lot of online resources, so it is getting easier and easier to self-teach coding because there are so many resources out there. And second, companies are realizing that college degree or some sort of a certification, they don't guarantee if that person is a good software developer. And becoming a software engineer doesn't really require any formal college degree or some sort of a certification. If you want to become a lawyer or doctor, you have to graduate from college, you have to go to law school or medical school or something like that, but becoming a software engineer, you don't really need it. So let's talk about self-taught route. You don't want to go to college and you're thinking about drop out of college. Before I get into this, I want to talk about what type of people might be able to go through a lot of hardship and learn computer science by themselves and successfully get a job. First, make sure that you like building things and making things and solving problems. Think about if you have a strong willpower and some sort of entrepreneurship. Third, you can make sure that you can handle a lot of uncertainties and enjoy the hard work. First, make sure that you even like programming. Don't quit your school, don't quit your college, or don't decide not to go to college before you know that you enjoy programming. Second, make sure that you have plan and stick to it. Number three is that try to find mentors who walked through similar route, who didn't go to college and who is doing a great job as a software engineer. And number four is you have to learn how to get noticed. And number five is to be aggressive in the job market. So step number one, check if you even like programming. Try to take a couple computer science fundamental courses from Coursera or edX. I took some computer science courses on Coursera and edX. They're really great CS fundamental courses. I really recommend taking a couple courses before making important decisions. And step two, you have to make plan and stick to it. So how do we make good plan when you are self-teaching coding? So in order to do that, we have to think backward. What it means is that we have to decide what kind of developers that you want to be and researching what kind of technologies are used in that profession. In order to do that, you have to research the job market. Go through recruiting websites like Glassdoor, LinkedIn Jobs, and Indeed. Think about what kind of developers that you want to be and research what kind of technologies they use. There are a lot of different kinds of developers. There's a web developer, and web developers have front-end web developers, back-end developers, and full stack developers. There is DevOps engineers, security engineer, Android engineers, iOS engineers, and JavaScript engineers. There are really a lot of different kinds of engineers. Also, there's just general software engineer. They tend to work at big tech companies. Here are some example plans that I thought it will be very helpful. So plan number one is to learn computer science fundamentals. It's really important to know some sort of fundamentals in programming. At the end of the day, this is what makes better engineers at the end. Take some CS fundamental courses. Now you understand variables, loop, functions, and other stuff. And second, learn object-oriented programming concept. This is very important concept that every developer should know to develop applications. And three, you have to know some sort of data structures and algorithm. Step number two, build your portfolio with marketable languages. Maybe you can make web applications, mobile applications, and games. By doing this, you can create your own portfolio and you can show off to your potential employers. I personally did a lot of side projects during the college. Because of these side projects, I was able to differentiate from a lot of other students. So make sure that you have some sort of impressive projects because you're not going to have a degree at this point. From this step, you might be able to create your resumes and create your LinkedIn profile and approach to your recruiters saying that you learn computer science fundamentals by yourself and you have these amazing projects that people use and you think it's useful, and that way you can kind of ask for jobs and asking for interviews. So step number 3 is you have to prepare your interview. So tech companies usually do coding interview. Interviewers give you some sort of coding challenges and you have to solve using programming languages. You might have to explain what kind of data structures you use, how would you approach to solve their problems. You have to explain your thought processes and stuff. In order to do this, you have to have good basics, data structures and algorithm, and you really need to practice a lot of interviews. Make sure that you practice behavior interviews and coding interviews by solving lots of problems. I recommend cracking the coding interview book and going to LeetCode or HackerRank to practice your algorithmic thought processes. You have to go out and sell yourself. So it means a lot of people will say that you need to build up your network. But building your network doesn't really do anything if you don't try to sell yourself. So throughout all these steps, while you're learning computer science fundamentals, learning algorithm, learning building websites or projects or mobile application, and while you're doing competitive programming, make sure that you go out to tech meetups. There are a lot of virtual tech meetups as well, tech conferences, virtual career fair, virtual career related events. Talk about what you're doing right now and how amazing your projects are and how ready you are. Be confident and meet people and ask for referrals and ask for help. If you're thinking about pivoting your career into software engineering, make sure to ask these 3 questions. So number 1 is to ask your employer if your company is hiring software engineer. And second is that if your employer also hires software engineer internally. And number 3 is to research if your employer sponsors extra education. My wife graduated from her MBA, and while doing her MBA, she realized that she might have interest in learning tech and learning programming. So she self-taught programming from a couple websites like Coursera and EDX. She started to meet directors and managers and HR to talk about her interest within the company. And they were hiring software engineers, and they also hire software engineers internally. So after graduating MBA, she was able to become a software engineer internally. That is the easiest way to become a software engineer, to be honest. If you're already currently working and if your employer likes you, you might be able to become software engineer in really short period of time. And don't worry if you don't really like current employer, because once you become a software engineer, you can keep learning programming and technologies by yourself, and you can work at different company. It is easier to get an internal job and then move to different companies. So what is Coding Bootcamp? Coding Bootcamp is where you can learn coding and programming from some sort of institutions. They teach you useful, marketable skills in short period of time. You can learn programming fundamentals and web development or mobile development to actually get a job. If you go to college, you're gonna learn a lot of some sort of theoretical fields that are not necessarily useful for technical interviews or getting a job. But in Coding Bootcamp, you're gonna learn only the necessary things to get a job in short period of time. According to Career Karma, it might take 17 weeks to 34 weeks, depending on if you're going to attend Coding Bootcamp full-time or part-time. Graduating from Coding Bootcamp costs between $10,000 and $15,000. And generally, they teach you HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, SQL, Java, all that really popular skills, and they're used for mostly web development. Coding bootcamps teach you web development because becoming a web developer is one of the easiest to crack into software engineering because there are the most number of jobs available. The pros of going to coding bootcamp is first, cheaper than college. Second, you can learn marketable technical skills in short period of time, and you're gonna be able to surround it by like-minded people who want to become a software engineer. You're gonna have mentors or instructors, so you can ask a lot of questions and talk to people about potential job opportunities. You can learn from other people as well. So my opinion about coding bootcamp is, I think coding bootcamp is really great option. If you already have savings and you're currently working, I think this is way better option than self-teaching coding because they give you some sort of structures. And if you're working full-time and if you have kids or if you have family responsibilities, you might not have enough time to go through a lot of hardships that a lot of self-taught programmers go through. So let's talk about going to college. It is one of the most common way to become a software engineer. According to Stack Overflow developer survey, 75% of software engineers worldwide completed a bachelor degree or higher, and 62% of that population majored in computer science or computer related majors. What's the pros of going to college? Number one is that college degree is going to be some sort of a bottom line for your employers. A lot of employers sometimes hire specific numbers of people from the specific colleges. They might filter out people without the college degree or people major in different types of professions. So this is going to be some sort of a bottom line if you're majoring in computer science. Number two is colleges are going to have well-structured courses and curriculums. You're going to be able to learn and CS fundamentals, data structures and algorithms, and some sort of advanced concepts like advanced algorithm and compiler design, operating system and networking or artificial intelligence, and you're gonna be able to have some research opportunities. There are a lot of internship opportunities that you can have during the college. So internship is very important if you want to have a good job. And also by going to college, you're gonna be able to attend career related events like career fairs, and companies come to your schools to hire people. Sometimes they do that. There's tech conferences, and also you're going to be able to participate in student activities. You're going to be able to have a lot of networks, and you can learn a lot from your school about job market, potential employers, and opportunities. So what is cons of going to college? College tuition is getting very, very expensive. So according to educationdata.org, going to in-state 4 years university cost $101,000. Out of state, it cost $170, and going to 4 years private university cost $212,000. So if you're looking at average software engineers salary, software engineers makes $92,000 per year in the United States. So if you're considering tax and cost of living, it might take a long time to pay back the student loan. So my personal opinion about going to college is that, so if you want to go to college, I recommend going to local public community college first, and then transfer to 4 years public university. I personally went to community college and went to 4 years university and finished this whole process in 3 years and a half. Within that 3 years and a half of college, I did 3 internships. One of them was part-time internship. I did that internship during the semesters, and I was able to get some scholarships. This way, I could save a lot of time and money so that I didn't need to go into debt. So I really recommend going to community college first, and then taking a lot of courses from there, and then make sure that your courses are transferable to 4 years public university that you want to attend in the future. Also make sure that you learn computer science by yourself in that community college so that you can go to career fair in the 4 years universities and talk to your potential employers to get internships right away. So when I was in college, I saw a lot of students struggling to get a job because to be honest, this is not an easy process because you're gonna take all the easy courses in community colleges, and all the classes have left that you have to take in the 4 years colleges that are really hard computer science classes. A lot of people drop out, or a lot of people change their major because those computer science courses were too hard and they didn't even know they liked programming. So make sure to take a couple programming courses in the community colleges. Alright guys, this is the end of the video and hopefully it was helpful. I really tried to cover a lot of stuff, but I bet I missed a lot of things. And it really, how to become software engineer, these paths, it really depending on everybody's financial situations and how much time and money you have. So if you have questions, please leave on the comments or add me on the Instagram here and send me a direct message. I'll try to answer your questions there and I can kind of help you. And if you think this video was helpful, please subscribe and click the like button. Make sure that you turn on the alarm so you don't miss out any good information from me. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you later.